Hey guys, we are back to do another review of Iyanla Fix My Life. See if she can fix mine, honey. Because that lady had said that's the way she walk around the house, honey. He is tired of looking at this, so. Y'all, let's get into it.
I don't know. Sometimes when she comes with these little skits, she don't tell me about it. And, you know, we supposed to have production meetings.
Bye.
She don't have production. We keep it on count.
Yep. Yeah. LY. Hey, you guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Kourtney. This is my husband.
Eat up.
All right, you guys. So if this is your first time joining, and you're wondering, do I dress like this all the time on camera?
Not on camera, no, not on camera. But around the house.
No, I don't be like this
slide,
all the time.
Slide.
This is what the pandemic did to me last year. So, if this is your first time joining, let me tell you what we're all about. We're about Kourtney and Eddie. We do relationship topics, reviews, and right now we're doing Iyanla Fix My Life because she had to fix that girl's life because that girl was walking around looking like this, and afterwards she made her look like. All right, yeah. So when Iyanla fix your life, you look like this. You look like this. All right, you guys. So if you're new to this channel, hold your head up, child. Don't be embarrassed. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you hadn't already. If it's gray, that means you're a part of the family, honey. You can get all them picnics and all them invitations to our family reunion. But if it's red, you just on the outside, child. You ain't nobody sting you. So I'm just playing. If you are watching us via Facebook, then make sure you hit like and follow. So let's go ahead and get into this on today. Because I thought this was good. What about you? Chad, get over that, Paul. Come on.
Whew. Oh, this may be my last Iyanla review. Because I can't. She take me through so many emotional roller coasters, man. You know, one minute you're happy. I don't cry. But one minute you feel like you want to cry. But yeah. But besides all that, it was one of the best episodes I've seen. Me personally, you know what I'm saying? Cause I just started watching her like this season, a little bit of last season, but it's probably one of the best ones I've seen.
It's called My Marriage Is None of Our Business. So you got two couples. One that's 35, DeAndrea. I think that's her name. What's wrong?
Two couples.
Two people, one couple.
Ooh. Yeah, you might be pretty, but your math's up.
You got two people, one couple.
There you go.
DeAndrea, 35. Idris, his name Idris. He's 46. And so she's blindfolded them into coming into the house. So she puts them in front of three doors. And I didn't write down what the other door did, said. But as far as Idris, he is the one he picked is the one that I made my bed so I have to lie in it. The one that DeAndrea picked is If Only You Knew. I guess only you knew what she been through. So you want to say anything about that?
No, I just, there's nothing much to say about that scene. But, I guess old boy, he made some decisions and mistakes in his life. So like you said, he made his bed and he had to lay in it. And because
one of his choices was, he could have I married the woman of my dream.
Right.
He didn't choose that.
And
that's
what's her name? The wife?
DeAndrea.
DeAndrea. And most women feel that way. If you only knew. They keep a lot of stuff to themselves.
DeAndrea said that her husband's door reminded her of her father. And she took them to the next scene is that she placed those tags around their neck. So whatever door they chose, she placed it around their neck. So they have to wear it throughout the show. Because she said a lot of times what people don't do, they don't express what they've been through. They actually wear what they've been through. So although, people may feel like, I don't show that I'm disappointed at you. I don't say it, but you actually show it. It's in your actions. A lot of stuff is through our body language.
Yeah, like I always say, you can say a lot of things, but your actions and your body language tells it all.
Yeah. They also said that they've been married for 6 years. They have 11 children.
Between the two. Okay.
So she had 2 before they came into marriage, and he had 7. Okay.
See, I'm going to say that about that 7. Like she said, he didn't go through the manhood teachings.
Right.
Okay. You having kids before you become a man, and that's what happens, because you don't know how to be a man, so you have all these babies or whatnot.
Thinking that makes you a man.
Yeah, it makes you a man, but actually all you are is a sperm donor.
A child raising children.
Yeah, so, yeah.
The oldest one is 29 years old, and the youngest one is 3.
3 years old.
Imagine that dynamic. Whoa, goodness.
Big brother. Nah, I said I don't want to joke on this. Go ahead. The reason I'm saying that because a 3-year-old, then you look at your oldest brother, he's almost 30 years old, man. Mm-hmm.
But the wife is 35.
Yeah.
So, they met at work, and they moved in after 3 months, and 6 months later, they got married.
He moved in with her.
Yeah, he moved in with her.
Which to me tells me a lot about that situation.
Oh, yeah. Like, why?
Why you moving with her? Right. Yeah. So that right there tells me a lot about him. And when they got married, like 6
months later.
Yeah, that's way too soon.
Husband wants out of the marriage, and but they feel like they realize that they just want to work through their difficulties. They say they love each other, but they're not in love, and it seems like they used to be in love.
Kind of, to me, this is my personal opinion. It's hard to be in a marriage or a relationship when you're not in love with that person.
Yeah.
Okay.
How can that work?
Yeah. How can that work? Cause I can tell somebody I love them all day long. I might love you in a friendship way or just a spiritual way, but to me, you have to be in love with someone to make that relationship or that marriage work. You know what I'm saying? Because
when you're in love with somebody, you don't want to lose them.
Right.
If you love them, child, you don't care, honey.
Yeah.
You
go there with people, well, I love them. Yeah. I love her. But, like you said, when you love somebody, when you love somebody, you don't want to see that person go through no pain. You don't want to hurt that person no kind of way emotionally or physically. You just don't want to see that person because you're in love with them so much.
Right.
You just, like you said, you want to be around that person.
Right. So come to find out that they do have a business together, and that DeAndrea, she struggles to be married to him. She's also working now, because we come to find out that she was not working, so she wasn't. You talk about that part where it seemed like they had a business together. Mm-hmm. Thank you. They got a business together, but at the time she was having some trouble with her employees or coworkers on her job, and she wanted to quit, and she was pregnant. Mm-hmm. He didn't really think that was a good idea, but I guess she kind of wormed her way into it and said, okay, why don't we start a business? So, you want to talk about that?
Well, you said what needs to be said, yeah.
So she's working now because Iyanla fixed my life.
That's
Iyanla
said,
that's a whole name. That's a whole name.
Hey, that's on your birth certificate now, yeah.
Hey, Iyanla fixed my life. So Iyanla did say that, are you staying with him because of financial reasons? Well, she said that she is working now because she want to have some stuff of her own. And one thing about her husband, that he likes to play the blame game, and he wants to blame other people for his failures. One thing that she did do is she started crying, and she said that she wants to be in love again with her husband. So it seemed like that at one point they did love each other.
In love with each other.
Yeah, be in love with each other. But now, somehow, I guess with all the difficulty, they fell out of love with each other.
I guess with the business and her dealing with his kids, because, you know how she felt about the kids sleeping in and whatnot. I guess that will work on your nerves to a point that you fall in love with somebody. So you got all these outside forces pulling at you,
right? And
you really can't focus on the marriage, and that right there can cause you to kind of drop out of love with someone. And they have to me, you got to have your priorities together.
Right?
Is it going to be the marriage, or is it going to be the business,
right,
or whatever? So that's what they have to do. What's going to be priorities for them to make it work? So yeah, I'm getting like a Iyanla now. Talking my hands. Iyanla, hey, you need assistance? I come on.
She'll eat you up, honey.
Left her pants on.
Idris is so she's sitting down and talking to him, and she asked him the question, how did you learn how to pull a woman? Like, how did you learn how to get a woman. And he come to find out his father wasn't in his life. His father actually was an addict, so he wasn't there. His mom dropped him off at his grandmother's house, and his grandmother raised him for a while. And so she was saying, so you have abandonment issues. And Iyanla was saying sometimes men do things backwards. They have children before they actually become a man, and that's what it seems like. And he just had children. He had children after children after children after children to get to.
He was married once before too. You got to keep that in mind. He was married once before.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he was. It's his second marriage.
Iyanla said that you sound like you're listening to your mom and not your wife, because it sounds like the part where she said she want to quit. You didn't want her to do it, so you just like, okay, don't do it. So it sounds like you just listen to your mom and not your wife.
Well,
and you have to take accountability as a man.
That's what I would say. That's part of being a man. You got to communicate, especially since you're the head of the household. You got to communicate to your wives and your kids. Like, no,
wives.
I'm just talking about men in general, not just one man. So you got to communicate to your wife, and say, hey, this is what we need to do. But she do have some say so, okay? Hear her idea. You hear, she hears your idea. Then y'all come to a compromise. Right. But the man still should have the final say since he's head of the household.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he has our responsibility. Now, for instance, if a woman's helping paying the bills, she has some say so in that.
Right.
Okay, and I believe in that. So, if for instance you help pay part of the mortgage, you got to say you have some say so on what goes on with the house.
Right.
But other than that, yeah, he still don't know how to communicate being a man because he hasn't been through that manhood training.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Iyanla gets them together, and they're talking about their marriage. So she brings them into the room, and I think one side is the business and one side the marriage. And she's asked them several times, which one are you want to be in love with, or which one you here for? So they said the marriage, and she said one thing about married couples, they don't always say what they feel. They will internalize things or keep them to themselves, and they don't always say what they feel. So she's now telling them basically to tell each other what they feel.
And I can kind of understand why couples don't really tell their spouse how they feel, because you don't know how that spouse is gonna react. You know what I'm saying? You don't want no drama. If I tell her this, she's gonna get upset. They're gonna be going back and forth arguing. Now, if you have a spouse that you can come to and talk to, and y'all can have an adult conversation about it, you can do that.
Right. I think it's all about timing when you're talking to people. You can't
true.
talk when you're all upset and stuff like that. You have to kind of wait maybe till you go to bed, or you in another zone as far as having, there's some things I want to bring up. And you have to do it that way. I think it's all about timing and what you're doing. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, what's her name? Deandra thinks that her husband is lazy and that she don't respect him as a business partner. And he said that he's not lazy. He's 46 years old. He works 12-hour shifts, and he pays all the bills. So that's sometimes when he want to sleep in. I said, "Ooh, is that Brianna on this show? Brianna Events?" Sometimes he want to sleep, longer or lay in the bed. He's not lazy.
I think
he's doing a lot.
Yeah, I think he's entitled to sleeping in if he's paying all the bills and working like that. So I don't see why women have issues with that.
I ain't had no issue.
I'm saying not you. I'm saying some women have issue with men sleeping in late because they assume they're lazy. But if a man out there working to keep the house and the bills and everything paid, and you don't have to pay for nothing, all you got to take. Why not let the man sleep in?
I know that's right.
Shoot, I sleep in all the time.
No, you don't.
Oh, you're right. Cause get out of bed. Come on. Let's go do this. Let's do that.
I don't do you like
I know you don't.
Okay. So she also said that he got 5 years of taxes that they got to deal with.
Nah, he dropped the ball on that one.
And he said that he was assuming she was gonna do it, but he didn't communicate with her, and so she was like, y'all got to pay them IRS boys.
That falls back on him.
Yeah.
That falls back on him.
And so he said that he don't respect her as a business partner, and he really don't want her as a business partner, because you only say you don't want. Nope.
That's tough though, man. I can't tell your wife, nah, baby. I guess you can tell her, but you gotta figure a way to tell her that's not too hurtful. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's maybe just gonna be hurtful. She said that Iyanla said one thing about it, y'all don't trust each other. So she talked about, let's talk about the stepchildren. So, what's her name? DeAndrea. She said that your stepchildren are sleeping lazy just like you, and they're taking on your pattern. So Iyanla was like, come on.
Yeah.
Because she started nagging and she was just going hard and stuff like that.
Let me say something before you continue to be on mine. Iyanla, that was a perfect setup in my opinion. Because if you want to get through to a man, don't come at him like that.
Right.
It's a way you come at him that we won't shut down. We'll be open to your ideas and we'll sit down and listen. But if y'all come in like this, I don't care what kind of man. If you come at me like that, I'm going to shut down. I'm going to get defensive. And I'm not going to listen to what you say.
Well, I say that's for anybody. That may be for a woman too. If you coming at a woman's kind of strange.
Some women, they like a man being aggressive, snapping at them because they feel like, ooh, he's strong. I'm just saying that. Some women got that mental, craziness going on.
So she had to pretty much show her how it's done. And so she showed her, you don't come at a man with all the and that's all he had in his ear. You have to love him like a woman. So, so she showed him the proper way of doing it. Like, hey, your children, you're a representation of them. So, make sure that, so she said it, to where I guess it's more receivable. One thing she did ask him is that who checks you? Like, do you have a spiritual father? You have a mentor? Do you have a religion that you pattern yourself out? Who checks you? He was like, me. She said, oh, that's a problem. You checking yourself, that's a problem.
Yeah, you gotta be held accountable by somebody. And I don't care if it's your wife, your parents, your God. You gotta be held accountable by somebody. If you try to hold your own self accountable, you're gonna give yourself, okay, I'm gonna give myself another chance. You keep letting yourself slide with stuff. Yeah. So he said that he practiced Islam, but he hasn't done it in a while. And that's part of the problem right there, because once you get out of that word, you don't have no accountability. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. You lose your focus. Right. And I don't care what religion you're in. If you got a religion and you're spiritual, if you study it and you live by it, it's gonna keep you in line. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna keep you in line.
Right. So, values, morals, and values. They come to find out that they both are children of addicts. Now, he didn't know that her father was an addict, and she was like, "Why in the world did you not know that? That should have been, talking about a lot of stuff, And she said all women married their father. I don't know about that. I think I married this one, my husband, of what my father to me should have been.
I ain't nobody. No, I can say that. I set the standards.
Oh, Johnny. DeAndrea and Iyanla are talking. And she realized that she was a lot of the problem. She didn't feel like she should say that she was disappointed in a grown man, but she said, you don't say it. You personally are not saying it. You're saying it in your actions. So she put her on that little bonnet. She said, put this on, a little bonnet and a robe and stuff, and look in the mirror. And she was saying, if you toting around the house like that or whatever, you ain't looking like no woman. You're looking like a 14-year-old girl. So we gonna go.
She didn't say that.
Well, little girl.
No, she said a little girl about hairstyle.
Yeah. Basically, said, yeah.
When she was saying you walking around looking like that, there's no sex appeal. Your man's not going to, be open to you, but I tend to disagree. A woman can dress in a paper bag. Some men still. But I see her metaphor for it. Though,
right. Yeah, I do too, because one thing about being in the pandemic, I had to make sure, working from home, doing everything from home, is I had to try to make sure that I keep myself spruced up. But sometimes, because it's just like leggings all the times and all that stuff or whatever. So I don't know if that was the case for her, but she went ahead and got her a makeover because she wanted her to feel beautiful. And ooh, girl, when she came out, she
looked real.
Yeah,
nice.
She said you don't look like a 14-year-old girl
and
no more.
That's why I kept looking at her. I said, something just don't seem right. And then when Iyanla said something about hair, I said, that's what it is. She looked young. She looked like a teenager. With the hairstyle and how she was carrying herself. Yeah. And when she did that makeover, I said, oh man, that's a big difference, man. It made a big difference.
Idris and Iyanla, she's talking to them, and he knows now that he needs to get back to his spiritual foundation. Well, she's talking to him alone. And he's writing a prayer for his wife and the things that him as a man, and he started crying. And so did Eddie.
No, I did not. Man, why you be lying? Why you be...
I don't lie on Sundays.
Well, you misspoken. You better get it corrected. No, I did not.
He was crying.
No, I wasn't.
He likes to look at me and be like,
I wasn't.
And before y'all say that, I don't lie on no days, but I'm just saying back in the day, they be like, it's Sunday, don't be telling no lie, God gonna get you. But, so yeah.
I can tell, yeah, old boy was crying, man.
And when Iyanla got ready to give him that tissue, he said, no, I'm good.
That's right, man. Keep it real, man. Keep it real.
So he brings them back. She brings them back in together. Well, of course, he got to see his wife, all made up and everything. And so she said, what is marriage to you? And they begin to tell them teamwork, unity, and, to be a good representation for their children. Yeah. And she walks them out and
said, before she said that.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. When she said that, when she was writing union and teamwork, teammates and representation for the kids, like Iyanla said, if you focus on this right here, you won't have time for all the other foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Right. I said, that is a good point. If you focus on those three things right there, all this other nonsense, you're not gonna have time to deal with. Right. Cause it's gonna just. Because he's so focused to building this and building that you're going to know, okay, this is not part of the union. This is not part of the teamwork. So we can't focus on that. Right. So he's going to add that part in. Because to me, I thought it was important.
So when they got ready to leave, so she sent them in a new direction now. You get to go on a new path and open another door. So the one was all out or all in. And, of course, they walked on the path of all in. So
it was me and you, and we had to do that. I said, man, I want to get back on this show. I'll walk on the other one. All out. Iyanla said, what you wrong? Hey, y'all, I want to get back on the show. The E-Dub part 2.
All right, you guys, on that note, says he's so tickled. So tickled. So, on that note,
was
funny. On that note, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I hope you've enjoyed this commentary on today. We will see you guys on the live. Hopefully, if you join us on the live tonight at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will talk about Ready to Love if you guys watch that. And on that note, that's all I got. What about you, babe?
Shining bright like a diamond, baby.
Or a bucket of lemons. All right, deuces.